Welcome back. In this video I wanted to talk about running electrical for your metal building. So I decided to go with a dedicated meter panel, just completely separate service from my house. So I get power from the pole here. The main road is to the left. So the one on the left is for the house, the one on the right is for the building. And then I had to get it trenched. It's 3 foot deep and it just runs right over to the meter over here. So pretty much I had to contact my electric power company, tell them what I wanted to do. They gave me the option of going underground or overhead. Overhead, I would have had to have the pole go up above the building and the wire would just connect it from there to the pole, the main pole. So I did end up having to get an electric permit from the county as well once I went over everything with my electric company. I decided to do the trenching myself to save on some funds. They did offer it, but they had their own separate costs for that. So pretty much I really only paid them for them to pull the wire. So I had to supply the conduit that ran all the way to the pole in the back behind us. And then I also had to put like a pull rope in it so they could pull the wire through, the service wire. So, and then they just supply the meter, and then there's a 90 that goes in the ground. They supply 2 of them. It's a long sweep 90. So how I mounted the meter, so I have horizontal sighting, so the best way for it to work for me was to mount some 2x4s inside and out. So my breaker panel is actually on the direct opposite side of this meter. And then this is a utility ground in the event I ever do like a separate, TV or internet or anything out here that needs its own grounding. Outside, they don't have to drill any holes through the building. And then pretty much it's just 2 conduit bodies, one on the inside, one on the outside, just to get that 90 degree, and it's a 2-inch Schedule 40 PVC. And then I use some caulking to seal up the hole. I also use a little bit of spray foam. So let's move into the inside so you can kind of see how the panel's set up. Alright, so we're inside to the panel. I ended up going with an outdoor rated panel, a 200 amp. And then if you just look to the side, like I said, so my service wire just comes in 90s and goes outside to the meters, just kind of an easy straight shot. And then grounding, I had to do a grounding to the building. And I did also have to put a rebar in through the concrete, touches the other rebar that runs the perimeter of the garage. And that goes in here. So let me open up this panel real quick. Alright, so this is the inside. This is the label in case you want to get one similar. So I just color coded all my outlets. So this one is the GFCI that runs some other outlets on the front of the building, and this light is actually for the outdoor light that you may have saw earlier in the video. It's on sensor, so every night it'll just come on, but if I don't want it to come on, I can just kill the switch. And so on all my outlets, I color coded them, so I'll explain that in a moment, but let's open up the panel. Alright, so this is just the inside of the panel. So you have your main service wires coming in from your meter. And then these are my options for breakers. And then I do have, on the bottom, I was able to do a 100 amp sub panel, which I'll show you. It's on the other side of the building. That's going to power my heat for my heat pump air handler and an extra outlet or 2 or some lighting as needed. But essentially, it's pretty straightforward on that. All the wiring for my county required me to do MC. So it's the solid metal clad cable. I got 2 250-foot rolls. I did everything 12 gauge, so everything's rated for 20 amps. The lights as well, you don't need it, but it's what I had, and I didn't want to buy another roll just for lighting. So everything's there for 20 amps. Each individual circuit starts with a 20 amp GFCI, and then it kind of goes through it. So all the outlets are protected, as that's required on my end. Let me show you the outlets real quick, and then just make a little loop around the building. Alright, so just to kind of show you how I wired up the outlets. So this is for the left side of the building. I just turned the breaker off and I pulled it out. So it comes out of the box, the panel, straight into the first outlet. So it goes line in to the GFCI. And then you're going to have load out, which will go to your first duplex outlet. And the other one will feed to my next set of outlets. So all of them have to be in the metal boxes, and then there's a ground screw So this is kind of a tight fit with all the wiring with 12 gauge because it's kind of a stiffer wire. So if this trips, all the outlets on my red circuit will go out in the event of any water or prevent a shock. So if I move down the line, so this is since the left side is going to be my primary side where I'm going to work, I didn't want to have all the outlets the same, so I also have some blue circuits. This is how I color coded them, so they're under their own 20 amp breaker. So this looks the same as that first one. So now this is the first outlet off the red circuit. So it's just two duplexes. So I wired them up. So we have line in, and then we have the load to the next set of outlets. You could just go straight into the outlet, jump it over to the next outlet, and then out this outlet, which is fine essentially. But in case one of these outlets fails, I don't lose power to my next outlets. So if you did have power in from your GFCI to this outlet, and then it goes out into this one and then out into the next one, if one of these goes bad, your whole run of outlets go out. I'll just show you a little loop around. And for running all my wiring, I was able to run it behind each leg since I have horizontal siding. And then I just put a little bit of duct tape across it so when I pulled the wires it didn't scrape up the metal too bad. So I wasn't sure if it was going to cause any rusting. And this is just the vapor barrier tape. I just did that to hold it in place because there's no straps, because you can't unless you want to screw into the back of the siding, and there'll be a hole in there. And then just behind it you can see it's just enough to fit about 2 wires through. And then when I had to strap everything, just when I was able to do the 90 to turn it up, you can see just the 3/8 clamps that run. So this one actually feeds my outlets. And if you look, it runs up, over, and I actually ran it through the truss, all the way through. It comes out and runs down the wall, and then I have a little bit of the insulation covering it up, but then it does a 90 in to the side. And then these two is what feeds and goes out to my 2 outlets for my lighting. I'll just show you a little loop around. I'm currently working on my insulation. That's going to be in a separate video. But you can kind of see went red, blue, and then blue, and then red. And then it kind of loops around to another blue. Excuse the mess. And this runs all the way over to my sub panel. So let's open that up for a second. Alright, so we're jumping over to the sub panel. This is the model I have. It's a 125 amp panel. And for your sub panel, you do have to separate your neutrals and your grounds. So I ended up running about an 80-foot wire. So I have a 30 by 40 garage, 80-foot 1 gauge MC wire. That's what's running up all the way. I have it tucked behind the insulation all the way down the wall to my main panel. So it's just very basic. It is aluminum wire, so that's why I went with 1 gauge. If you do copper, it is more expensive, but you can use a smaller gauged wire. And because it is aluminum, it's recommended, from what I was told, to use no locks. It's an antioxidant joint compound just to prevent the corrosion possible on the aluminum connectors. But the 60 amp is running my air handler to the right. It only really pulls 40 amps with the electric heat. That's all I have running right now because I haven't installed the heat pump. And then I have an extra 30 amp breaker for the heat pump. Right now I have some outlets on a 20 amp circuit, and then I have a separate 20 amp for lighting, potentially over here, or if I need to run any more other outlets. But they kind of just, all my outlets just loop around the building. And I pretty much marked them all with tape to kind of, for me, to know what circuit it is. So you can see that one's black. Let's move around over here. Then we have another black one by the window. And black. And then this one just ended the black. I did GFCI outlet here because that's all I had left for my outlets because I was running low. And then some wood. I'm going to be working on another project. And then this one is just for my light switches. I have ceiling lights just plug in. So you can see one plug there and one plug there. So they're just the left and right of the building are on separate outlets for the light switch. So it just turns the left side off, turns the right side off. And then I do have a retractable extension cord. That's just on the front building circuit. So this one actually runs, and I jumped it off into a GFCI that goes outside in case I ever need to power outside. And then if I ever do the garage door openers, I saw some that you can mount on the side. I did put an extra junction box for a possible outlet there. That's kind of the gist of it. I just wanted to give a little explanation, a little video, and then I want to show just what tools they used, because they do make some cutters for this MC or AC cable. So let me go over to the table real quick. Alright, since I was doing so many outlets just to make life easier, I got this off Amazon. You can get them at the local hardware stores like Lowe's or Home Depot. But this is just a armored cable cutter. It's just nice because it cuts just through the metal cabling, and then you can twist it and just pull it straight through, and then your wire's exposed. The other thing you'll need is some 3/8 ACMC connectors. And I do also recommend getting a set of the lock nut wrenches. So I bought a 3-pack. I really didn't need the other ones. Everything was pretty much 1/2 inch. But let me show you how this tool works, just so you can kind of see that. So let me set this phone up. Alright, so if you're only doing a few outlets, you can just use some linemans and some side cutters. But this is just a lot nicer to have too. So obviously here's our wire, our cable, and our actual wiring's hidden inside. So on this cutter, you can see there's a small blade. Might be hard to see. Small blade in there, cuts just enough. So it's going to do a little demonstration. So you line it up, it pinches in one of the grooves, and you just spin it until you don't feel any resistance anymore. And then you can find the cut. Let's see, right there. You just give your wire a twist. Cut off. And then I'll just show you anti-short bushings on it to prevent the wire from bending too far and getting cut on the metal shielding. So let me show you those. Alright, so these are just the little anti-short bushings. So you just slide them over the wiring down. And then what I'd like to do, I always leave a little bit of the plastic that's going over. And you bend it down and you can wrap it right around the side. You don't have to, but just one of the electricians I talked to mentioned you can do that just for extra peace of mind. And then you get your connector, you slide it on, and then you just tighten it down, and this one's good to go into your box. See, you just tighten this all the way down, and then you're good to go. And then this is your locking nut. You just take off when you're ready to put in your box. Like I said, these tools are nice. They have a little groove teeth, just grabs right onto it. Let you turn it. And then for the boxes, it's called Southwire is the brand. It's the 2-inch box. Let's actually see. 2 1/8-inch boxes, and they worked for everything I needed. And then I always got the front plates. I got the ones that had a little rise to them, just because I am going to end up putting some plywood or maybe drywall on the wall, so it gives it just a little bit of a bump out to cover that, so all the outlets aren't recessed. That's it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment.